Dude, I swear to God, something has happened to our brains because on Twitter, the most viral thing for the past few days, this isn't even like one day, it's been the past few days, is this dumb little chef who had a Nickelodeon show that got canceled, and all he does is just talk in a stupid, dumb way that people think is cute.
Hey, Black Woden, Black Ewan. Ready to cook up some more episodes? Black on a brilliant blanket. Canceled?
It might be good for like an episode or two, like 10 minutes of hearing, oh, I'm a chef, I'm Toyo, but after a while, dude, I've been hearing that stupid ass motherfucking chef cry and cry and cry in every other tweet, and I'm just sick of his bitching, dude. I'm fucking sick of it. Shut the fuck up! So, there was a show, it got canceled, and to announce the cancellation, the creator made a little animation of the chef from the show, and all he's doing is crying and being like, I can't believe my show's canceled. Yeah, it's sad that your show's canceled, but bro, like, it's not good. It's not a good show. Maybe it got canceled for a reason. Well, apparently he got an Emmy. I don't know. There's just a bunch of skits of this guy doing shit. It's like, he kind of seems more like kind of an influencer than an actual, like, you know, coherent show. You know, kind of like angry, or not angry, annoying orange televised, except it's a dumb chef, and he doesn't know how to speak. He just can't speak any full words, and it's just the most, like, annoying thing to listen to after a while. Yeah, it's cute, whatever, it's good animation. Like, he was fucking crying his eyes out, and I was sad, and maybe a quote retweet, like, oh, it's so sad that they fucked over my boy chef. But is anyone really gonna watch this shit? Like, it's been going viral on Twitter, but the actual account that runs the Tiny Chef still doesn't have, like, that many views, all things considered, especially with how it blew up, you know? You'd think it'd have, like, 1 million by now, if, like, tens of millions to hundreds of millions have seen it on other platforms and got upset at the cancellation and learned about this magnificent entertainment that, you know, people apparently couldn't live without. But if you go to their site and their Twitter, it's like, yeah, it's not that popular, you know? You would get, like, some views, like, you know, 30 to 50K, and then on the new one that everyone's talking about, it happens to have 100K. Because people just, like, maybe 50K people happen to look it up. Out of how many who saw that crying chef and said they loved him? People are gonna forget about him after a week. But not me, because I'm fucking on Twitter all day, trying to look for dumbass shit to read, and all I have in my feed is this goddamn motherfucking chef that I just don't give a shit about. I just don't. Maybe I just don't give a shit about enough things, dude. Like, I feel like I want to cover or talk about certain things that happen on Twitter, because, you know, that's the whole point of one of my channels, but there's just nothing that great to talk about, you know? It's either like dumbass Tiny Chef who can't say jack shit gets fucking canceled and it's all wholesome and ooh woo and like whatever, or like someone gets fucking sexually assaulted. It's literally one of the two, or like gets sued or some shit like that. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just changing. Maybe I just want to play Mario Kart all day and just talk bullshit and not fucking read tweets all goddamn day. Like, it can get a little bit exhausting just fucking making videos, reading tweets for 5 years straight, you know? And I haven't been doing it a lot lately, but there's a reason for that. Number one, it doesn't bring in the money anymore, so I gotta focus on other things to bring in income that are not online related or like publicly online related. And it's just, I've just done it for so long. There's only so many goddamn twitlongers you can read before you fucking go nuts, dude. Literally. So, I don't know, man. I just want to fucking die when I go on Twitter, dude. Not actually, but it's just not that fun of a platform anymore. Like, I enjoy maybe some tweets here or there, you know? Honestly, Instagram Reels have been more entertaining for me recently. And I'm not even going to try to get into TikTok. That's like something I never got into, and once I, you know, learn more about it and its addictive, you know, kind of algorithm and shit like that, I wanted even less to do with it. It's like, I'm already ADHD, don't fucking ruin my attention span even more with these like 2-second videos. Also, I don't know how to make short. It's just such a weird format. I'm used to yapping, making stuff that's kind of long, and the witty quickness of shorts is just something that, I guess I haven't trained my creator brain to be able to make, you know? Another thing I want to talk about, though, is malls, dude. So I recently went to the US again, and every time I go, I usually visit the mall. I end up doing that, you know, a common thing to just do with people. Hey, let's go to the mall, let's see what's up. I don't know if it's just like a US versus Canada thing, because I do recall going to some pretty okay malls in the US, specifically the one in Nashville. I don't remember being too bad, although it's been forever since I went. But the issue I have with majority of malls, particularly I guess in the US, is that usually they have 2 floors, and the floors are just full of nothing shops. Like, there's a Rolex shop, there's a fucking Tesla shop, there's like so many useless stores. Like, I'm actually impressed how many stores and how many businesses can open that seems so completely useless, and it fills up the entire mall. And there's no stores that are like useful other than clothing stores and I guess like makeup or like hair kind of product related stores, you know? That's literally it, I feel. And then, like, I guess a food court. Sometimes there might be a gaming store if you're super, super lucky. But in this mall, there wasn't. And there was 2 floors. And there was just nothing. I was walking around. There was nothing. I needed just some, like, basic convenience store-ass shit. Dude. I needed some fucking shit you'd find at a Walmart or a Target. And there was just there was nothing. The most convenient or most general store in there was a fucking Macy's, dude. And they're not gonna have, you know, whatever the fuck they'll have at Walmart or Target. Malls around here, they have fucking Walmarts or what have you in the actual store. Or like some other form of like convenience store. But no, there just happens to be malls that are just dedicated to having the most useless shops. I don't know, man. I guess there's jewelry stores, which are pretty useful and maybe only can kind of exist in malls because, you know, of the security required and stuff like that. So I guess there's that. If you need jewelry, you can go to a mall, and that's useful. But, like, I feel like a mall should have a bunch of stores that are just easy to, like, walk into and pick something up real quick. Like, convenience store, or even like a little tourist store with like little keychains, one of those like useless things, you know? But no, it's just full of fucking Rolex, Tesla, fucking, I need like $10,000 to even like fucking look at this shit and consider making a purchase. And the crazy thing is that those stores are always empty. Like, majority of the stores in these malls are empty, yet the fucking in-between parts are full of people because I guess they just use it to, like, meet up or go to one clothing store that's actually useful or something like that. But it's just such a waste of space. Like, what is happening? Is it because people don't go to malls anymore? So they just, like, completely gutted any useful store? Or that doesn't even make sense. Wouldn't the useful stores stay and the useless ones go? Is it just like billionaires who want to put up their fucking weird ass shops and fucking malls and have a bunch of money to pay out the rent? Like, I really don't get it. I feel like the quality of malls have just gone so much down. Either that or malls in the US were always this shitty. But it's hard to believe because I've been to other malls in the US and yeah, they all have their like kind of useless stores, but I went to one that like had an arcade and a used game store, or like restaurants, you know, like proper sit-down restaurants, or even something like, I don't know, a dentist office or You know, a glasses store. That's not something you'll need to walk into at a moment's notice, but it's a business that, you know, can be useful to the average person. In some of these, like, more, like, let's just call them, like, elite malls or whatever, fucking useless-ass pieces of shit, there was, like, this one store that I walked past that wasn't even a store. It was, like, an experience where there was, like, weird, like, digital art exhibits, like, something that Elon Musk would think is, like, super artsy and cool and, like, revolutionary, but it's just, like, I don't know, some digital shit. I mean, I'm sure it's fucking interesting, but, like, this is a mall. I want to buy. I want to shop. This isn't fucking Disney World, dude. This isn't fucking, you know, Universal Studios. I don't need an experience. I need a fucking bar of soap or something, you know? Literally. Like, or a pair of scissors. Or just something, dude. Just anything. I guess maybe because, like, other convenience stores exist, but isn't the whole point of a mall the convenience of everything being in one place? Like, what the fuck happened, dude? Anyway, I am super, super excited for the new Donkey Kong game. Like, so excited. I was excited when it was first announced, but after that direct, man, all the stuff you can do, and the kid Pauline really is growing on me. Like, you know, I was a little, like, whatever when she was first revealed by that leak. And it was just the box art, and it was like, okay, this is pretty cute, this is pretty awesome, but it didn't really click with me, you know, how far they would go into that dynamic of DK being kind of like a big brother-esque figure to Pauline, you know? And it really reminds me of, like, the Wreck-It Ralph dynamic with Vanellope, or the, you know, Monsters, Inc. Sully and Boo dynamic. It's really, really cute, and it works out so well in the game, seeing, like, the actual footage and the singing of Pauline and everything. It just makes me really excited in that sense. Normally, I don't get Amiibo, but I actually do want the Amiibo for DK and Baby Pauline because it is just so adorable. But obviously, that's not what made me, like, super, super excited for the game. It was the gameplay. Dude, there's, like, so many collectibles, and they all upgrade things. They all do something tangible. You know, I love collectibles in games, but most of the time, they just, like, are kind of there to just collect. Like, you know, the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild, or even in this game, like, the P-switches and stuff. All you get is stamps. It's just a little thing, and it's not really, like, significant. It doesn't really alter the gameplay. But in DK Bonanza, it feels like every single collectible will do something tangible to the gameplay, whether it be, like, give you points to upgrade, you know, the base health or damage or whatever of DK, or to get clothing items to get temporary boosts when you're wearing them, or collecting things in order to fill up your power-up meter and turn into these cool, like, bonanza modes. And I love that you can do them at any time. You don't need a power-up to do it. You just, like, get the power and fill up the meter. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if they could really... I mean, they could do it, technically, but I don't really know how thematically kind of accurate it would be to do that in a Mario game, because usually Mario kind of has power-ups, and you get a certain item, and then Mario transforms. That's usually how it works. You can't just do it at a moment's notice. But with DK, he's not restricted to any, like, thing you would expect from a 3D Mario, because it's not a 3D Mario, it's a 3D DK. I guess there was DK64, but I think that game is old enough and far enough removed from, you know, the current point in time that DK Bonanza can act essentially as if it is the first 3D DK, even though it's not, and not really take anything from DK64. DK64 really felt iterative of Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie anyway. I mean, Tooie did come out after, but you know what I mean. It felt more like a rare 3D platformer and a continuation of that, rather than, like, I don't know, Nintendo taking DK and molding it into, you know, the perfect 3D platformer for that particular character. Not that DK64 is bad, but I think DK Bonanza doesn't really need to pull from DK64, and I don't think many people would be super upset if, you know, there isn't Lanky Kong or whatever staple there is in DK64. And plus, there's only one 3D DK, so, like, technically it wasn't even established what is going to be, like, the main thing to continue from game to game. I guess we do have that establishment now with DK Bonanza if you do want to treat it as a sequel to that game, even though I kind of don't see it as that. There's golden bananas to collect. I guess that will always be a staple. Rolling, jumping, climbing vines. I don't know. I feel like these are already staples of the DK franchise in general, even with the 2D platformers. So yeah, there's nothing really in common with Bonanza and DK64, except for maybe like the insane amount of collectibles. That is kind of an iconic part of DK64, and it does look like there's going to be a lot of collectibles that do a lot of different cool things in DK Bonanza. Definitely more streamlined. I don't think there'll be as much random stuff as in Donkey Kong 64, and I think all of the things in DK Bonanza that you do collect will end up being less contextual and kind of more important in a broad sense. Because a lot of the collectibles in DK64 is just like, okay, here's a collectible to refill your, you know, music meter. Here's one to refill your ammo. Here's one to do this specific thing for this specific Kong, this specific banana. A lot of the collectibles kind of just do the same thing, but for a different item or whatever. They could all use the same currency if they really wanted to, but they just want a unique currency for every little individual thing, which doesn't really seem to be fully the case in DK Bonanza. You know, you can use gold to buy multiple things in a shop instead of, you know, unlocking one thing with, I don't know, blue pants coins and then red pants coins and green pants coins to get the green pants, you know? It's just all a bit more streamlined, but there still is a lot of collectibles, and there is stuff like from DK64, like the ooh banana little clip. I think that's awesome. I just can't wait to see what they do, what they cook up with DK in 3D, because they don't have to follow the established formula of a 3D Mario, and they have a lot of creativity and wiggle room. It's the same reason why I was so excited for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, because there's a lot of things that, you know, you can try for the first time with making that series 3D, you know? So I'm excited. And if I have gamer rage, I can just, like, punch everything and then, you know, get more stuff. I feel like it's impossible to rage at that game because you could just break everything. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching, listening to me ramble. And yeah, see you guys later.